welcome our blood viewers to RCD's News English Edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top highlights of tonight. The Ministry of the Budget launched the 2024 State Budget. And on international scene in the Middle East, Mahmoud Abbas receives Antony Blinken in Ramallah. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our beloved viewers. The Republic of Djibouti expresses its full support for the case brought by South Africa against Israel before the International Court of Justice on the grounds that it has committed genocide and violated the 1948 Genocide Convention. Djibouti looks forward to a fair decision that will put an end to Israel's brutal aggression against our people and brothers in the Gaza Strip, as well as the murders and terrorism committed by settlers. Djibouti looks forward to a fair decision that will put an end to Israel's brutal aggression against our people. The Republic of Djibouti also expressed its deep appreciation for this moral and principled position adopted by South Africa, which places human values above all other considerations. At the same time, Djibouti also affirms its full support for South Africa's efforts by all possible and available means. The Ministry of Budget unveiled the state budget for 2024, marking the beginning of a meticulously elaborated financial roadmap. The event, held under the patronage of the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Ghadir Kamil Mohammed, was attended not only by members of the government but also by some of the country's most promising economic figures. This ambitious budget, designed with care and rigor, aims to meet current and future challenges while boosting the nation's economic growth and well-being. Presented as a carefully crafted financial roadmap, this budget aims to meet present and future challenges while catalyzing economic growth and national well-being. The state's 2024 financial framework is based on fundamental principles, demonstrating the government's commitment to progress and accountability. Indeed, one of the cornerstones of this budget is the continued allocation of resources to key sectors such as education, health, innovation, and infrastructure. This strategy aimed at strengthening national development and consolidating the country's position on the world stage. As a result, the government is unwavering in its determination to maintain a balanced budget while ensuring the transparent and efficient management of public funds. This financial responsibility is presented as a guarantee of maximizing the benefits of government investment for the well-being of the Djiboutian population. A notable initiative included in this budget was the emphasis placed on electronic payment, commonly known as e-payment. This innovative measure is seen as crucial to state revenue mobilization, offering an efficient and transparent method of collecting taxes and other revenues. This budget proposal is the result of an extensive consultative process with stakeholders, illustrating the government's commitment to transparency and openness. It embodies an ambitious vision for the country's future, emphasizing enlightening financial choices and transparent management of the public affairs. The Republic of Djibouti can thus look forward to a year 2024 under the banner of development and equity. The Ministry of the Budget, Mr. Isman Ibrahim Roble, shared his outlook, affirming that in 2024 the government intends to maintain the efforts undertaking to strengthen dynamics of economic activity and ensure macroeconomic stability through the pursuit of structural and budgetary reforms. In the same vein, the Prime Minister stressed that the state budget illustrates the backbone of the head of state's political vision. Dr. Hibo received the Director General of UNESCO on Thursday morning. The Minister of Youth and Culture, Dr. Hibo Momin Asowi, received for the first time the Director General of UNESCO, Dr. Mohamed Ouled Ammar, accompanied by a large delegation. This reception from the Arab Organization for Education, Culture and Science follows an important regional working meeting held last May at the Ministry as part of the project to collectively inscribe the traditions and customs linked to traditional marriage in Arab countries to UNESCO's Universal Register by March 2024. The meeting took place in the presence of the Minister, the Director General of UNESCO, experts and technicians representing the organization, the Senior Technical Advisor, Mr. Idris Musa Ahmed, the Technical Advisor in charge of the Arab Board, Mr. Ahmed Shami, and the Director of Culture, Mrs. Fadumo Abdi, the Acting Director General of the EMPC, Mr. Mahmoud Darkala, and other ministries officials. The Ministry of Trade and Tourism, Mr. Mohamed Orsi Mediri, chaired a virtual meeting on Zoom for LDC ministers with WTO Director General Mr. Nzuzi Onkojo Luwala. The meeting was organized in close collaboration with Madam Khadra Ahmed Hassan, Ambassador of the Permanent Mission of Djibouti in Geneva. The aim of the meeting was to examine and adopt the draft declaration of the LDC ministers prepared by the delegations in Geneva and studied by the capitals, with a view to forwarding it to WTO. The direction This declaration sets out the LDC's group's expectations for the 13th Ministerial Conference and will serve as a guide for the LDC group's work throughout 2024. During the meeting, LDC ministers stressed the LDCs face many challenges, including food security, digital divides, vaccine divides, complex humanitarian emergencies, and armed conflict. Despite this challenge, LDC ministers nevertheless remained resilient and determined in their responses to the needs of their populations. They recognized that their interventions within WTO had advanced their objectives, and they defended their positions to meet the challenge. They also congratulated the ambassadors and delegations in Geneva for their hard work and success in achieving concrete results for LDCs. Ministers highlighted the strengths of the least developed countries group's excellent performance among the significant achievements of the LDC group at the WTO. The LDC ministers agreed that the draft declaration adopted will not only serve to guide the outcomes expected in Abu Dhabi, but also guide their work throughout 2024. The prestigious Campeski Hotel was the setting for the first edition of the Sports Gala dinner organized by the Secretary of State for Sport. This exceptional event was dedicated to honoring former sportsmen and women who have proudly represented the national colors over the years. The evening was attended by a host of eminent personality, including the Secretary of State for Sports, Mr. Hassan Mohammed Kamil, the Minister of the Budget, Mr. Isman Ibrahim Roble, the Minister of Trade, Mr. Mohammed Warsama, the Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, Mrs. Ulufa Ismail Abdo, and the Secretary of State for Investment, Mrs. Safiya Mohammed Ali. The presence of members of parliament, representatives of the armed forces, presidents of sport federations, and the sporting family added a prestigious touch to the event. The atmosphere of the evening was brought to a climax by a succession of national artists who took to the microphone, creating an incredible atmosphere. Our artists delivered memorable performances, adding a festive dimension to the celebration. The evening closed with a solemn moment of recognition for former sporting legends. The presentation of medals and honors was the highlight of the evening, highlighting the outstanding achievements of these icons who left their mark on their respective disciplines. high point of the celebration was the presentation of medals and honors to former legends of the sport. It was a moving moment for recognition for these heroes who have left an incredible mark on the nation's sporting history, highlighting their outstanding achievements in their respective disciplines. More than just a simple evening, the event symbolized recognition and gratitude towards those who have contributed to the brilliance of national sport. In this way, the gala created a memorable canvas, forging links between generations, celebrating the present and honoring the glorious past of national sport.
Mama Aita Yokalino, Mama Aita.
Mabilil da koksa inti.
Où les valeurs du sport et ont écrit.
Indeed, the Gendarmerie's second formed police unit, FPU2, took off for the Central African Republic at 5 a.m. Today, continuing the legacy left by the valiant gendarmeries of the first unit, who demonstrated exceptional courage and an unshakable determination to build a more stable future for their Central African brothers. The Chief of Staff of the Gendarmerie, Colonel Zakaria Hassan Aden, and the delegation of senior officers formed a guard of honor to UPF2. The military chief said the whole Gendarmerie is united behind UPF2, recognizing its sacrifice for the cause of peace. Its mission is not only a commitment to the nation, but also a testament to international solidarity in building a more peaceful world. He wished each member of the unit a safe and successful journey before continuing. May you be a source of hope and comfort for our Central African brothers who aspire to peace. It was the perfect assurance and admirable determination that the FPU-2 gendarmeries boarded the Ethiopian Airlines plane, chartered by the United Nations, ready to meet the challenge with professionalism and abnegation. In conclusion, the Chief of Staff of the Gendarmerie took the opportunity to express his deepest gratitude on behalf of himself and the Gendarmeries to His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Gelle, and Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces for his multifaceted and unconditional support to the Gendarmerie in the successful deployment of formed police units in a peacekeeping mission in the Central African Republic. Heading south now, where as part of their stock control operations, inspectors from the Ministry of Trade and Tourism, in collaboration with the Prefecture and the Regional Council, carried out a vast stock collection operation in the Ali Sabih region. This project is financed by the World Bank as part of the emergency response to the food crisis. The MCT inspectors first met with the main managers of the region's storage and distribution establishments in the presence of the second GBD Prefect of the region, Mr. Omar Idris Suge, and the Vice President of the Regional Council, Mr. Nuh Saeed Guldan. The aim of the inspection was to check on stock management and the prices approved by the Ministry of Commerce. They found that stocks were sufficient to cover the needs of the region's population. Furthermore, in order to ensure permanent monitoring of the situation, the Ministry of Commerce has taken steps to activate strategic stock in kind and in trust to maintain peace, stability, and manage inflation. Finally, MCT inspectors have issued a warning to consumers to respect the prices approved by the ministry. Still in the south, where as usual, the School of Dekhel, in collaboration with parents, organized for the 7th year running a prize giving ceremony for the school's best pupils. These prizes were awarded to more than 60 students who stood out from their peers by achieving an average of 16 or above in the first team of the current year 2023-2024. The various prizes were accompanied by honor rolls for students who achieved an average of 19, 18, and 17, as well as certificates of achievements for students who have achieved an average of 16. The ceremony was honored by the presence of civil and military authorities from the Dekhel region, as well as the regional inspector, head of the Dekhel Education Department. A mini report on the traditional award ceremony of previous years was screened for the public. The parents present at the ceremony expressed their satisfaction and welcomed the continuation of this initiative, which has been running since 2018. From the south to the north of the country now, where the autonomous port of Tajurra was a scene of a simulation exercise last Thursday in accordance with the International Ship and Port Facility Security Code. The main aim of this large-scale exercise was to test the port's ability to coordinate and react to emergency situations. Several entities took part in the situation exercise. Firstly, the aim was to test the responsiveness of port staff and above all the reaction time and efficiency of firefighters, security guards, and other port personnel in the face of danger. Once alerted, elements of the National Gendarmerie practiced how to subdue the attacking troublemakers and other malefactors. Afterwards, they assured the safety of people and property without interfering with the proper functioning of the parties not involved. At the same time, the medical team from the Tajara Medical Hospital intervened to ensure the care and evacuation of the wounded and to provide assistance to the people involved. Shifting towards the regional news now, the Somali capital Mogadishu was obliged today as thousands of citizens expressed their outrage at the controversial deal signed in Addis Ababa earlier this year, ceding 20 kilometers of the precious Somali Sea. This popular anger brought together a multitude of voices from workers to students, from civilians to armed forces. The Minister of the Interior, Ahmed Maalin Fighi, held crucial talks with the government representatives to calm the boiling tempers. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, where U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas on Wednesday in the Israeli-occupied West Bank. During the meeting, Mr. Blinken pledged to promote government's reforms as part of U.S. initiatives to mobilize the region behind post-conflict plans for Gaza, including the support of the establishment of a Palestinian state. Mr. Blinken said he had secured commitments from many countries in the region to support the reconstruction and governments of Gaza following the recent conflict between Israel and Hamas. Well, by this, our blood viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.